Hey guys, Moldran here. Today I want to talk about the original Diablo 3. By original Diablo 3 I don't mean the current Diablo at launch, as we were playing, with the super hard Inferno mode, with the progression from Act 1 to Act 2, from Act 2 to Act 3, where some people were exploiting chests, farming them over and over and over, where some builds and skills were completely broken and overpowered. For example, the wizard build, where you would get no vitality on gear, no HP at all. You have a level 60 character with 500 HP and 5000 life per second, and due to a talent you were able to be basically invincible. Also where Crippy and Criparian did the amazing world first hardcore Inferno. No, I'm talking about the Diablo 3 that was being developed by Blizzard North, the people behind Diablo 1, Diablo 2 and the anti-Diablo franchise, between 2001 and 2004. Now first I'm gonna show you some screenshots of the original Diablo 3. Okay, so here you have a screenshot of the original Diablo 3. It was supposed to take place in High Heavens. You can see it's pretty much oriented on Diablo 2, the graphics and the general style of it. I really like it. It's simple, but it was 10 years ago. But as I said, it was really supposed to be like a sequel to Diablo 2, a better Diablo 2. And here you can see, for example, on left and right, those are on left are stat points, the plus, where every level you would get 5 points that you can distribute individually to either strength if you want more damage as barb, or dexterity if you want to avoid attacks, or energy if you want more mana, or vitality if you play on hardcore and want more survivability. About this right plus a bit more later, but now I want to show you now what happened with the old Diablo 3 now. The Blizzard North team left in 2004 due to conflicts between between Vivendi back at the time, and some just wanted to work on their own games, which failed afterwards anyways, but they departed. But the Diablo 3 would have still been with Blizzard, but still they decided to start it from scratch. And what were the reasons behind that? Well, I found this article from 2008. Now, this is a 5-year-old article. Nothing was known about the current Diablo 3 back then. It was basically when Activision and Blizzard merged. Activision is a publisher of games, either on PC or consoles, also pretty huge, and they merged in 2008. And in the comment section, people 5 years ago, with no mentioning of the current Diablo 3 and stuff, were already commenting very interesting things. For example, this guy was commenting, note that some people are saying that Diablo 3 will be the big test. Arguably, Blizzard's most console-friendly title, big name release and so on. So basically this would be the first test between Activision and Blizzard. And I was like, what is he talking about? And then another comment made it clear to me. He was saying, I think most of the people think that Activision will indeed force Blizzard to release Diablo 3 on the consoles. Guess what happened? Exactly that. Those people knew, they were predicting the future. Diablo 3 wasn't even announced back then, but they were already knowing, okay, Diablo 3 would eventually come, and they were knowing that it is gonna be released on consoles, because that's why Blizzard and Activision merged. Synergy effects is what we learned it in university between businesses. And this brings me back to this screenshot here. Now, if you have complex systems like the stat point system with the original Diablo 3, now suddenly this wouldn't work anymore on consoles because it's very complex. If we talk about the skill tree, now in Diablo 2 you had a passive or you had a skill tree. You could either locate your points into passives, for example, more survivability or sword specialization, axe specialization. So you could basically choose a weapon that you want to use and put points into it to make it stronger when you wear that weapon. Or you could choose a variety of active skills. You have limited skill points, one per level, but you can choose whatever you want. So the result in Diablo 2 was many different builds. I was leveling 5 barbs just to experiment with different builds and just to play them different. Same with Amazon. So I had one with a bow and I had one with, I think it was called Java Zone, but whatever. The complex skill system suddenly wouldn't work anymore if it would also need to work on a console version. So that's too complex. Or the main point about Diablo 3, the original one, was it was scheduled to be an MMO. the original developers of Diablo 1 and 2 thought the next step in the Diablo series would be to increase the interaction between players, to make it a small-scale MMO, obviously everything in Diablo environment and so on, so it wouldn't be nearly as big as WoW, but it would be a nice MMO in the niche of the Diablo market. And the MMO and consoles, of course, 5 years back then, no one would even think about it. I'm not even sure if it works today properly to like migrate an MMO, which is really complex, on consoles. But in any case, I really wish I would have been able to try out the original Diablo 3. It's pretty interesting and stuff, but unfortunately I haven't been able to. But there's also another interesting thing now, last but not least, that I want to show you, is on Wikipedia for Blizzard North. It states, for example, resignation were due to a conflict between Blizzard's owner Vivendi and partly due to employees starting something new. Okay, there's this. But what I'm looking for is this here. Former Blizzard North staffers, including Joseph Lawrence, Wyatt Cheng, and Matt Ullman, and so on. Now, in the Diablo 3 community, recently there have been some interviews from several fan sites with game developers. So like there's a lot of communication right now since Josh Mosquera, that's his real name, is the game director. So Blizzard has more like a community approach, getting ideas from the community, exchanging thoughts and updating basically. But what I'm wondering is why none of these community sites that were able to get an interview with Blizzard, for example, asked Wyatt Cheng what he thinks about the original Diablo 3. Why did they start it from scratch over? What systems were originally planned, or if he thinks that the Diablo 3 now is better. That's really what I want. And this now is something that I don't really see positive, but I really want to mention as well. On August 1, 2005, Blizzard announced the closure of Blizzard North. A reason for the closure was Blizzard North's poor development of what was to be Diablo 3, which did not meet the expectations of Vivendi. So basically the original Diablo 3 that I just showed, there was supposed to be Diablo 2, many similar systems, but with a bit better graphics, and as an MMO, didn't meet the expectations of Vivendi. And I think it's really sad or unfortunate that nowadays a game needs to have a real man auction house or other innovative methods to make money, and needs to be able to work on consoles to like get a green light from Vivendi, which is standing above everything. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know your thoughts about the original Diablo 3. The current Diablo 3 is good. It's going to be even better with the expansion, but yeah, it's something we're never going to find out how the original Diablo 3 would have been. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.